What's going on, everyone? So earlier, the Los Angeles Lakers ended up waiving Jordan Goodwin, and per Shams was to kind of free up space, right? Marcus Smart. Now the Lakers can just sign him and bring him in outright. They don't have to work on trades or anything like that in order to make that signing. Now they still have until Wednesday before they can sign him. That's the earliest they can sign him. So we're still, a couple days away. But a big thing going around is like, okay, well, does this mean the Lakers aren't going to make a trade? Right now, you've had several people. I mean, even Jovan Buha said the Lakers are in the mix of a trade, that they are working on a trade. Yet it's like, okay, well, then why did they waive Jordan Goodwin if they're working on a trade? And you got to keep in mind, like, Lakers are making other moves, right? I wanted to keep Jordan Goodwin too, right? I did, because one, I think he's a guy that can give you production over an 82-game season. Two, he gives you the flexibility for, the buyout market later on, after the trade deadline, or, if you need to waive a guy to get off of a guy in the middle of a trade, like let's say you do a trade, because you'd have until January to get off of Jordan Goodwin, but like let's say you made a trade in December, right, and you ended up landing two guys, right? Well, okay, we need a rush spot. Well, you can just waive Jordan Goodwin, right? Well, you can make the argument, just whip the Band-Aid off now. If the Lakers don't view Jordan Goodwin as like, one of the main kind of top end guys, then fine. Then you waive him, you get it over with now, especially if you're bringing somebody in. But I don't look at the Jordan Goodwin trade or the Jordan Goodwin waiving as I don't think the trade and Jordan Goodwin waiving are one, like for like, right? I don't think that's the same thing. Lakers are active in trades. They're trying to find trades. They need to make moves and upgrades, particularly at that starting three that is completely, unrelated to Jordan Goodwin waiving, right? But what the Jordan Goodwin waiving does is now it takes the pressure off of that trade. And two, it prevents the people you're talking to, which if the Lakers are in the middle of a trade, it could be something that was brought up of like, hey, you need to clear salary in order to free Marcus Smart, right? Let's say the Lakers are working and in conversations on a trade for, Matisse Thybulle. And they're like, hey, we want you to take this salary or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Right? Portland's like, well, okay, you need to clear that salary in order to do that. So, now the Lakers go, okay, let's just waive Jordan Goodwin. Now what? Now we can just sign Marcus Smart outright. We're fine, right? So try again. It gives them more of a leverage point to rather than now teams kind of pointing to that and going, well, like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to sign? You need us to sign Marcus Smart. It's like, no, we don't. Like, we just waive Jordan Goodwin, right? And again, if we also don't know who else is coming or what else is coming, we can get news right now while you're watching this video. We get news in a day, get news in a couple days that, Lakers are signing, Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton. You still have several of these guys that were supposed to be signed already that haven't. DeAnthony Melton was headed to the Warriors, a week ago, and it didn't happen. There were reports that the Warriors expected DeAnthony Melton and Al Horford to have already signed, and they haven't. Right? Well, could they be waiting on the Lakers? Could the Lakers have known that one of those guys were looking to come to the Lakers? Right? And guess what? Now you can go and sign him and still make the trade and still do all these other things. So just because they moved off of Jordan Goodwin doesn't mean like that's it, pack it up. Now, I don't know if they're going to make a trade regardless, right? They might not, right? It might be all noise, right? I say it all the time. Everything is rumor and speculation until it actually happens. Right? Like nothing is really done until it's done. When we get the report of we've seen trades get announced, say this, Lakers are trading for Chris Paul, blah, 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 big news, and it gets vetoed. Announcement, Lakers trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Boom, gets nixed by Jeannie Buss. Lakers trade for Mark Williams. The Los Angeles Lakers literally made an announcement of it, welcomed Mark Williams and everything, and then he ends up not getting traded. So we've seen things that even looked final that ended up falling through and ultimately not ended up final. So again, nothing is final until it actually is. Till pen to paper and that guy is officially in a Lakers jersey. Right? At that point, then yes, it's final. So again, I don't know if the Lakers for sure are going to make a trade, but they've been active. And what this does is it takes now the pressure off. Now you can be patient, which again, I keep preaching and I'm big on. Lakers need to stay and remain patient. Don't go jump the gun. Don't go rush to do X, Y, and Z. Right? Like If that right move is there, that makes sense, that solves all your needs, then beautiful, right? Lakers are probably going to free roster spots up anyway and salary anyway just through any type of trade, right? The Lakers trade for Andrew Wiggins, that's probably a 3-for-1 swap. So there's 2 roster spots. And the Lakers like to keep that 15th spot open, right? So again, chances are Lakers are going to make any type of moves. Even a Matisse Thybulle, yes, you could kind of do, a Gabe Vincent for Thybulle swap. They're making like the same salary, but Lakers also or Portland really is going to want more than they're not just going to swap those guys. It doesn't make sense for them. There has to be an incentive. So you add in, a Gabe Vincent or Dalton Connect. There we go. Right. Whether that makes sense or not, I don't really think that makes sense, but you get the point, right? Like, here's an asset to do that. Okay, well, now you opened up another roster spot and you cleared the salary, and now you can sign Marcus Smart and bring in 2 guys if you want to. Right? So the whole thing that I want people to take away is that Lakers are making moves. They are active. They've been making moves all offseason. I know people look at it and go, oh, it's only the buyout market, but what's the difference between a buyout market and free agency? Nothing. What's the difference between the buyout market and a trade if it solves the same thing? Nothing. What's the difference between the Lakers trading for DeAndre Ayton or signing him for free? Nothing other than you get to keep all your assets and can make other trades and other moves to solve other positions. What's the difference between the Lakers signing Marcus Smart via buyout or trading for him? Nothing besides you save the assets, players, and whatnot, right? Like, it's more of a benefit for the Lakers to do this. And I've talked about get through this buyout and free agency stage, right? Get all the guys in free agency that you want, right? So wave in a Jordan Goodwin. Maybe they bring in a Joshua Okogie, right? And I've even talked about if the Lakers were to bring in Joshua Okogie, he probably should waive Jordan Goodwin because they're essentially the same player, but Jordan Goodwin or Joshua Okogie just is better. He's better defensively. He's just got the long, insane wingspan, right? So again, he's more versatile at defending that 1 through 3. So to me, I look at it as like, okay, finish kind of your current, like one project at a time. Finish the project, get all the buyout guys that you want, be patient. There's still talks about, Nikola Vucevic, Jeremy Grant, so on and so forth. Okay, well, kind of get through that and then find those moves. Because like, what if you do get a Jeremy Grant and a Nikola Vucevic? Well, maybe now you solve 2 other positions. So now maybe you're looking to kind of conserve your assets, get into the season, evaluate things, right? And not just that, but even if they're done signing free agents, it doesn't hurt to kind of keep that flexibility at that open roster spot. I would personally like to have kept Jordan Goodwin on the roster, and then you can always waive him when need be. But again, you just kind of rip the Band-Aid off, and it's not fair to him. Let him go to a place that maybe wants him and values him and is actually going to sign him for a season. Why drag it out and have him be on the roster all season just to end up waiving him in January? You just get off of him now to do right by the player. Right? Like, hey, it sucks. We're waiving you. He's only getting, I think it's like $200,000 or something like that. This is what you're getting, right? But now you have the opportunity to go sign with another team. Now you have the opportunity to actually get on a roster and maybe make some noise for that other team rather than we're going to keep you till January and then just waive you anyway, right? That's not right by Jordan Goodwin. So just rip the Band-Aid off now. Now it gives you the opportunity to bring in Marcus Smart without having to do a trade. So now you're not forced or kind of feel this pressure to do a trade. You can kind of let everything unfold itself, let everything kind of build itself out. Even if Jeremy Grant, Nikola Vucevic, and all these, and no one else, even if no one else gets bought out, right? You're still able to, again, make moves via trade, do all these. Like, I don't think Jordan Goodwin being waived means the Lakers aren't going to make a trade. The Lakers are going to make a trade either way, right? Or they're not, right? Maybe they don't make a trade, period. But I don't think it's because they waived Jordan Goodwin. It's like, okay, well, now we don't have to make a trade, right? No, they were looking for trades before the Marcus Smart and buyout and stuff, and they've been looking for trades after, right? Rob Pelinka has said what he knows this team needs to address, what this team needs to solve. And Marcus Smart by himself doesn't solve, even if they start him, right? Like, because personally, I'd probably start Marcus Smart at the 2 alongside a Luka Doncic. But I don't think the Lakers are going to do that because of Austin Reeves, right? But, even if they did do that, let's say that they do, you still need another 2-way guy. Like, one guy being the point of attack and defense and the only real defensive player in the starting unit it doesn't solve all your defensive woes. Like, not by himself. Now, maybe you could go with the Jared Vanderbilt too, and then bring Reeves and Rui off the bench, which that would probably be the best scenario, because now you actually have some real offense and production and scoring off the bench. That's a perfect world. But, point is that Lakers still need new moves regardless, whether Marcus Smart comes or not. So I don't think Jordan Goodwin being waived means that's it, no more trades. And we've heard from several people. I see a lot of people that Anthony Irwin or even Yo Vambu. I've seen people criticizing Yo Vambuha. But again, it's not just those two. It's, Dave McMillan has said stuff, right? You have Mark Stein that has said stuff that the Lakers are looking for. Like, literally all the people in the Lakers inner circle are all saying the Lakers are active in trade talks. Now, look, trade talks happen all the time and go nowhere. Just because you're in trade talks doesn't mean a trade is going to get done. So I do think that the Lakers are still, I don't think anything's changed is my point. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. We enjoy these types of videos and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.